Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sorry.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
I laugh only because this is live and we have brothers in the studio and I'm dying because I can see your faces. And so let me just finish the intro. You're listening to the Digital Sisterhood podcast. Okay, so this episode is a very, very special episode. The studio looks like no other because we have brothers in the building.
Woohoo.
I'm so like flattered to be the first guys on this podcast.
Yeah,
I swear.
I'm a huge fan.
You should be very, very flattered because we're very intentional about when we wanted to have brothers. But obviously for this segment, it's going to be discussional. And my listeners are probably wondering, why? Why am I letting brothers infiltrate the Digital Sisterhood? How is it? What happened to it being a safe zone? Well, obviously we're not against brothers here. We love our brothers for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But in this episode, we're actually exploring this conversation that requires both parties. Marriage. Ooh, I can see you sweating, AB.
Are you ready, Nice? Are you ready?
I see Nice getting nervous. Sudees looks very calm. He's like, I've been here before.
Trust me.
You know, you sound like you've been in the game for a minute. He has his hands together like, oh, it's nothing.
You said marriage, and I feel like I got cold feet for some reason.
Jonathan, put the AC down. So the sisters are probably wondering, like, why marriage? Okay, so plot twist, guys. I'm talking to my listeners here. We are launching a marriage questionnaire card game. Right. Digital Sisterhood is launching a card game. It's kind of like We're Not Really Strangers, but a bit more formatted, a bit more intentional, in the sense that it not only does it ask thought-provoking questions, but it also gets down to business. What are the questions that you need to have before getting married? Oftentimes we find men and women in relationships for, courting stages for a long time and then finding out the girl or the guy is not interested in moving. And it's like, what were we doing here talking for 6 months? And I find a lot of youth fall into this trap because the vibes are vibing and you just don't want to kind of, break it, and then you feel uncomfortable. And then Generation Z in particular have a lot of anxiety, and so they don't ask questions that...
Very non-confrontational.
Yeah, they're not. And I think that it's a perfect way to make it more Islamic, because it is an Islamic game. It's no funny business. And it's also fun where it's not too... Like, let's think about it. If we talk about marriage, we all get scared.
Yeah.
Like, we're all bummy. We're all like, because we understand the expectations of marriage. And I think we also know it a little too much. I also honestly feel like you should be a little bit naive getting into it a little bit.
Yeah, because once you set the expectations, you leave room for disappointment.
So, anyways, sisters and brothers who are listening, the card game is coming out very soon. I'll definitely let you know. Right now, it might be next week. It might be the week after. We'll definitely keep you guys posted. But the brothers can definitely see the card game. What do you guys think? You guys can see the box?
It's colorful. I like it.
Okay, so just to say, the card game is called, drum roll please, Vibe Check.
Hey.
You're probably thinking, for the sake of Allah, or like, we're kidding your parents type of title. But the whole point of Vibe Check is that when you're courting somebody, essentially you're assessing their vibe. Do you guys have the same world views? Do you have the same life experiences? Do you see the world the same way? Do you practice your faith in the way that you both agree? And so it's a fun play on word because everyone says, I'm just checking the vibe. I'm vibing.
Sure. No, but the vibe is very important.
Exactly.
I mean, I would have called the created in pairs. That's just me. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for branding, but I was like, let me be a little bit more original.
Oh no, I love it.
I feel like vibe should be more original.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound so intimidating.
Nice. That was cute.
Yeah.
But, hey man, Instagram bios say differently.
I swear to God.
They do a lot. So the cool thing about the card game, it's set up in 8 categories: social issues, icebreakers. Well, icebreakers first. Social issues, intimacy, Islam, family, finance, and then final questions. Oh, and scenarios. We have scenarios.
Ooh.
Which is
really nice.
Which is fun. It's really, really fun. And it just kind of assesses you guys problem solving skills, which a lot of people lack. Yeah. A lot of people lack in. But this kind of gives you that, the good beginning, good start. So I'm going to essentially play the card game with you guys. Normally, it would be between a brother and a sister who are getting to know each other for marriage, who've made their intentions, right?
Abundantly clear,
like very clear. Not like, ambiguous, very clear. and you play the game knowing like, okay, I'm playing this game because I'm intended to get to know you for marriage, and this is the best way to start. This is a good place to start. So hopefully the goal is to get everyone married. That's the goal.
Of course.
Now, TDS is aiming very, very high, but the goal is to get people married. And if you do through this card game, we expect compensation. No, I'm kidding.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Invite me to your wedding. At
Send
least.
some of that maha.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like we worked really hard, and I think we're deserving to be at your wedding. But inshallah, I'm going to play the card game with you guys. Again, normally would have been with someone you're interested in, but I mean, we can have a discussion to show how these games are intentionally supposed to be played.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see what you guys think. Because you guys are brothers, right? Girls kind of assume you guys have this interesting brains. You guys are like on a different
super
planet.
Complex.
I honestly, sometimes you guys are simple, sometimes you're super complex, but aren't all humans, right? So I don't want to make it a whole gender thing. We'll have that conversation. But
Don't say the same about girls.
I mean, hey, it's a fair and lovely world.
It is. But you know what? We don't have to make it complicated because the card's here to make it simple. Okay, so cool. Before we start, I want introductions.
I forgot we didn't even do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we did it. I just did this whole long segue, but I want to do introductions. I want your name. I want you to explain out how old are you relatively, because we want to know gauge what age group you're talking in on behalf of, and what your experience has been like getting to know people for marriage, if you have, and if you haven't, that's cool. Let's start. We're starting on the right. The sunnah is the right. Nice.
You're right. Okay. I usually get introduced last, so I'm not used to going first. Hi everyone, my name is Nice. I am one half of a podcast called Switching Gears. Go check it out.
Yep.
Ada tells me that she's a fan. I don't believe her.
Huge fan.
I don't believe her, but it's okay. I'm 28 years old. As for what else? What am I exactly trying to do? I'm just a regular guy, you know. What else can I say? Really, I'm really excited to play this game, and I'm really excited to sort of, pick people's brains and get to know what makes them tick. I'm really excited.
I have a nice. Are you single?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so you've been down this road.
I mean, it's complicated.
It's complicated. No, I mean, I understand it. So what do you think about the concept of this card game?
Honestly, it sounds exciting, and it sounds like one of these things where it's something that we needed as a community. It's something that we need because we get caught up in. Obviously, this world is not created for us. We know that. This is not like, whether it's this Western world, this world in general is not for us, right? So we see people who are, living together before marriage and they get to know each other and all these other things. And then we're like, what is that? It's such a foreign concept.
And we get lost in between.
And we're torn between Western sensibilities and where we come from as Somalis, as Muslims. We get caught up in these things a lot. But no, I'm really excited to play this because it's more representative of who I am.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there needs to be more creatives.
Yeah,
I feel create product instead of be just consumers.
I mean, we need more creatives. Period.
We do. We definitely do. So then after Nice is AB.
AB, the second half of Switching Gears. So I'm 26 years old. Just a regular guy, trying to make it. Obviously, Nice covered it already, right? We're trying to find out where we stand in this society that we live in, balancing the culture, the religion, and also trying to be the first generation of our families and stuff like that. Being a first generation Canadian, and you don't even really know, there's no blueprint for you, right? Because at home you gotta be upshir from back home, and then you're at school. You gotta be, you gotta be upshir. So it's just getting used to trying to figure out, build my own lane, figure out what I like, what I don't like, and
you gotta set the tone. Yeah?
Sometimes you gotta see things that you don't like, and feel it out for yourself to know what it is that maybe. Hey, this is a no for me, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Stuff like that. So
AB, though, I have a question. You don't have to answer this, but are you in search for marriage?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Hopefully sooner.
I'm very excited, and I'm excited to see your perspective in this.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Is it real life and is it necessary?
Yes, it's necessary.
Is this card game? No, but that's what we will find out. Is it necessary?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. So inshallah, we'll have this conversation. Sudees.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, so my name is Sudees. I'm actually from Hamilton. I'm not on Switching Gears, unfortunately. I'm actually at McMaster right now, doing a double major in political science and philosophy.
MashaAllah.
SubhanAllah, I run Ayera in Hamilton.
MashaAllah.
So we're trying to spread the word there. I'm 19 years old.
Oh, wow, young brother.
Wow,
Yeah.
young. Are you in search for marriage?
Inshallah, maybe after school.
Maybe after school.
Yeah,
Okay.
nothing's worse.
But
than,
you're getting the thoughts going and seeing what you're looking for,
And
what
have
you're
your
interested, what's
priorities
your
nothing's worse than not being able to take care of someone.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I think that's a huge one.
Yeah.
So I know Sudees is not looking, but has it been difficult for you, Nice and AB, to find your match?
I'll go first. It's a trip, sort of like a roller coaster, right? Especially when you're really young, around like us. I don't think you're that young, but obviously you start looking for like you don't really know what you're looking for when you're really young, right? So you go out there. Now in the beginning, I feel like as men we set out and we let the eyes lead, right?
Yes, subhanallah,
so,
we do. You
subhanallah,
guys do.
Yeah. You go for women that you are attracted to or who you find beautiful.
Very superficial, very surface level.
Yeah, very very surface level. You may look past things that are red flags that you're not aware of, right?
Absolutely.
And as time goes by, as relationships, as relationships end and things happen and you experience things, you learn like, oh, okay, so now I want someone who can do X, Y, Z for me. So like once you get to like 25, now you're like, okay, no, I know what I like. Now in terms of searching for a life partner, there are things that obviously I'm not willing to compromise, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But I didn't know when I was 18 or 19 or even 21, right? So yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
think
very
everyone
difficult.
feels that way. By the way,
Yeah,
I think every single person says it's complicated.
and
Relatively.
It's hard on these.
with that
streets.
being said, I feel like everybody's on eggshells.
Yes.
And that I don't know if that's a hot take or if that's. I feel like everybody's just kind of like no one's trying to get hurt or no one's trying to tell the person how they really feel about something that makes them uncomfortable.
Especially being Muslims too. How
Yeah.
do you approach someone?
Yeah.
Because you have to go through their father, and then a lot of guys don't have what it takes or the courage to ask their fathers. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a father thing because you're not if you're not financially stable, whose dad are you trying to talk to?
Exactly.
Right. And then on top of that, like, what is it like getting a job and being successful? And the extravagance of a wedding and the expense of all of those things. It's just marriage is really difficult in 2021.
Yeah.
It's a giant chore, is what it is. It's a giant chore.
That's so sad.
No,
Nice.
but it is, and it's like, and AB already said, he touched upon it. But we live in such a society where, a lot of people are very non-confrontational. People are not willing to address things as they happen. They're willing to acquiesce to other people's needs just because they're not ready to have a tougher conversation. And alhamdulillah, God didn't curse me with that inability to not talk to people. Like, not being able to talk is a curse in and of itself.
Yeah.
It really is, whether you want to accept it or not.
You mean you're talking about communication?
Yeah, just not being able to communicate how you feel about things, how you want things to go. Like, you were put on this earth for a reason, right? And obviously that reason is to, obviously be the best Muslim that you can be, the best person you can be, brother, son, sister, daughter, wife, all that stuff, right?
Absolutely.
But I think the mistake that people make is they really let outside forces dictate how they should function inside. Like, you can't go into a relationship. Sorry, I feel like I'm going on a bit of a
you
tangent.
go ahead.
Like,
we'll start the games too, but finish your thought.
No, like, you can't. A lot of people go into relationships, and we talked about this, AB. People go into relationships expecting the other person to make them happy. If you do that, you've already failed. Like, you can't walk into something and say, oh, this person is going to make me happy. You got to be on the path to happiness, either already there or on the path. Because if you're not, you're destined for failure. Another person cannot inspire joy. Another person cannot bring that for you. They bring their happiness, you bring yours, and together, it just multiplies. You can't add nothing to nothing. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You get nothing.
Absolutely. Well, see, I invited the right people. I did. I invited the right people. I'm so excited.
You won't be saying that when I start answering these questions.
Okay, I'm gonna inshallah have a silent prayer. Okay, so let's get to the game. And with the game, we're gonna start with icebreakers. I'm gonna ask you a few questions per each category, and then go as the conversation goes and answer honestly. Okay. So icebreaker question number 1: the apocalypse is coming. The apocalypse is coming. It's here. Name 3 people on your team.
Okay,
Muslim figures?
Do we just go in order?
Anybody,
or do we
name
just
3
talk?
people, alive or dead.
Okay.
I think you're supposed to go first.
Do we go in order? Or
Oh
do we
yeah,
just talk?
well you go first. Nice.
We're going
We'll
first.
start.
Nice.
We always start. If you want, we can start from the left, but it's nice
I
to start on
should
the
have
right.
sat somewhere else.
I did suggest you to be on that side, but you
He
remember you
did.
did.
Okay. 3 people dead or alive, right?
Yes.
An apocalypse. This is really tough. I mean,
It's about survival,
it's about survival, right?
right?
No family, no family.
I mean, my mom would be really useful in the apocalypse. Yeah, I'd bring my mom. My mom's really useful. Yeah. Well, no, she's a good lady. Like she's very useful. Who else would I bring? I would bring my bro Mac Mittens. He's a dangerous guy. You know Mac Mittens is a dangerous guy. Shout out to my brother. I'd bring him. And then finally I would bring. I'd bring him actually. He's really useful.
AB?
Yeah, he's a pinch. He's a Have you seen him jump a fence?
No, guys.
He's
no
amazing.
offense, AB, but an apocalypse.
He's a great guy. This guy.
Oh
You need him.
my
You
God.
need him in the cut when things are
Nice, you're not
happening.
surviving.
I
You're
will.
not. You're actually not surviving.
Have you seen my mother fight? My mom's 5-0 on a good day, but she's sick.
Okay. You're right. Somali Hoya probably could take it.
Come on.
Okay. AB.
So who's next? Me? Okay. So for me, obviously, I'll take you.
Okay, you guys are
for
weird.
For reasons I don't want to discuss, but his survival skills.
See, listen, the survival skills are off the chain.
I want to see it.
There's another brother. He's also one of my friends. I'll take his name is Kool-Aid.
Shout out to Kool-Aid.
He's great managing things and handling. We'll survive. And my mom, I'll bring my mom. She's gonna handle the map. She's great at navigating us through problems. My whole life, I'll be always be in like
You guys are such humble dudes. Bringing your moms.
Listen,
I
I never.
You guys
been,
are already marriage material. Look at that. Allahumma barik. Mashallah. Tabarakallah. Like we like guys that like their moms.
my mom will walk into the principal's office and have a word with him, thinking that he's gonna like suspend me or something like that. And she'll walk out the meeting and everything's just calm and I can go back to class and stuff like that. So she's a G.
Moms are heroes.
She's a G. She's a G.
Mashallah. Sudees, who are you bringing?
Okay, so if I don't say my mom, I know I'm gonna get in trouble. So,
Yeah, you better.
We set the precedent.
I'm gonna say my mom, and then two people that are already dead that have had a huge influence on me. Malcolm X and Imam Ghazali. Yeah.
Imam Ghazali give you perspective, right?
Yes, he
to tell
does.
you, don't worry, this is supposed to happen.
Hey, my bro Mac Mittens is like that. He's a street scholar. Like he's really good at that.
You are not comparing to Imam Ghazali.
I'm just
right
saying,
now.
he's really good. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I was thinking? Goku. I was thinking Goku. You guys are see, and they're mad.
Why didn't anybody tell me you could say that?
Because it was named 3 figures. I didn't say alive or dead. I didn't say anime.
You didn't say fictional or non-fictional.
I'm not. That's
You didn't
too many
specify.
words. It just said people or figures. I don't know. There are people technically, cartoon figure people.
You know what?
See, people like you're not in the right head frame. I was thinking apocalypse. Nothing about that is normal. So I'm not inviting normal people to my top names.
Honestly, if I tell her,
So now I feel like a loser because she brought
Definitely,
Goku,
I
and I brought my
definitely
mom,
and I brought Mac
Goku,
Mittens. What am I gonna do?
and I brought my mom, and now my mom in
You
harm's
both
way.
brought your moms, but I think that's extremely humble, and it says more about you guys than it does about me.
No,
but-
you rigged this against my favor because you know what? She thinks this is cool because
It's a good-
if you tell a girl I'm gonna bring Goku, she's gonna be like, "You still watch anime?"
Yeah, you're a loser. Like we
Don't
left
girls-
all that in the
don't
car.
girls watch anime.
Listen. Did you know there's a huge army of like women, Muslim women that watch anime?
Yeah, I was
Actually,
gonna
there is.
say.
a
Yeah.
massive one, by the
yeah,
because
Sailor
I'm
Moon,
constantly
yeah.
being
No,
encouraged
for
to
real.
convert, and
They
I
do.
refuse.
Yeah, whatever.
What is it?
It-
Attack on Titan.
Sailor Moon, yeah.
And they're gonna. Nobody say anything bad about anime. They're a huge community, by the way, massive community.
She thinks we're gonna talk
Oh,
bad
yeah,
about anime
obviously
today.
you could probably
We're
guys.
part of we're part of the anime.
We're part of the
community.
community.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing because I'm not a huge
But you said
anime.
Goku and
I
the
did
other
say
two.
Goku. I would have done someone like Malcolm X because I feel like he's just that guy. So I'm gonna say Muhammad Ali because he can fight.
I don't know.
Um,
I like Malcolm X, but like in Apocalypse, he's gonna. I'm
He's
not in
gonna
the
tell
mood for his
you-
speeches right now.
You're right. You're right. Allah yarham. But guess what?
He's liberating though.
He's very. But I feel like you need that kind of encouragement,
Yeah.
right? Muhammad Ali doesn't talk; he just fights. He just tells you 1, 2 words, and so I probably do Muhammad Ali, Goku. I'm trying to think of somebody else. What? Give me a Marvel character. Iron Man.
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon
Gordon Ramsay.
Ramsay. That's a good one. But you know what? Now you guys know to open your mind.
Oh, I'm with it now.
Now you're with it. Now you're
I'm
with it. Okay, so next icebreaker. What's a small act of kindness you received and never forgot?
That's a good one.
Wow. Wow. A small act of kindness that I received and I never forgot.
Never forgot.
You know, and this is so like pathetic if I think about it. It's so like juvenile and childish, but like, you know, somebody poured me a bowl of cereal once without me having to ask for it. They made the milk just right. They didn't put the milk before the cereal.
Wow.
It was the right amount. Like, you know, if you put too much milk, it gets soggy.
Mashallah.
You know? But it was something I never forgot because it really sat with me. It really sat with me
See,
inside.
ladies, these brothers in this country, all I need is a nice cereal.
That's all. Like I'm a connoisseur,
not
man.
some crazy elaborate, steak
just,
cereal for nights.
I'm very low maintenance. I'm like a chinchilla. I'm very low maintenance. Like I don't need anything.
But it's very simple, and you never forgot it.
I never forgot it. No, I never forgot it.
Yeah, that's nice. AB?
That's a tough one. There's a few. I'll say probably like maybe my I think my 12th grade graduation or something like that, and it was like you're like 18 and you think you're grown and stuff like that, and I was wearing like a suit, whatever, or was I wearing? I was wearing a 3-piece, not a suit, but like just the
shirt,
the vest, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like raining or whatever, so I went out with my friends after, and then my dad came to pick me up and it was raining, and he brought me a coat.
Oh my god.
So that's probably
And you never forgot that.
And I never forgot it because it's just like in my head. I'm like, well, why?
Your dad wanted you to look swag.
Nice.
He didn't want you to.
He didn't want me to,
Yeah.
He didn't want you to crease the thing.
Yeah.
I know.
But he's big into like ironing your stuff and like the lint and stuff.
But the fact that he thought about you.
Yeah.
When it was raining.
When it was raining, I'm
let
like,
me go check.
So that, yeah.
Wow. That's really deep. Sudees?
Inshallah. Okay, so for me, the first thing that came to my mind was actually growing up as a kid. There was a guy named Abdullahi, right? Somalian like you guys.
Somali is not a word actually. It's just Somali.
Oh yes, Somalis. So he used to always give us that attention that we needed as a kid, and I think something just like that really motivated me to care about my future a lot more, because of that attention or that someone gives you. So alhamdulillah, so shout out to Abdullah if you listen to this.
Shout out to Abdullah.
Mashallah. Wherever you are.
That's that. Pops. No, the thing about kindnesses is when it's genuine and you know it, you can't forget it. That's how beautiful it is. Like, it's lasting. The one thing the Prophet ﷺ was known for was his kindness. And his kindness transcends even past after he passed away. So and that's the kind of kindness we should all achieve. But so next question.
Well, you're not gonna answer?
Well, I think thanks for reminding me. Nice. I'm in Ryan Seacrest mode. And I forgot I have that. I think the kindest thing I've ever experienced was when I first started to like be more conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in the beginning of my journey, I didn't know too much, which is kind of embarrassing. I think some people might say it's embarrassing to say, coming from a Muslim household, but at the time I really didn't know how many rakats were in Maghrib. And I remember when I wanted to pray, she could tell I was like afraid to ask, and she's like, I'm not going to judge you. Just whatever question you genuinely need to know in order to do what you want to do, just ask. And I did. And after that, I always asked her all the time. And nobody would even believe me today if I told you I didn't know how to pray at 19. Like, nobody would believe me. Yeah. They would tell you, Adar, you haven't practiced your whole life? No, I haven't. But it's because somebody was generous enough to give me their time. And that was kind of kindness that I never forgot, because there was no judgment.
Wow.
So, and I always make dua for her.
That's actually so beautiful.
I know. I never forgot her. She was actually my aunt's housekeeper. Wow. Her name is Amina. She was from Ethiopia.
Shout out to Amina.
And I wish if I could run into her one day, I would tell her, I'd be like, you really did a number on me, but Allah knows, and He'll reward her generously, inshallah. Okay, so tell me something unexpected that has changed about you in the last year. What has changed about you in the last year?
I love how we're always starting with nice. Like, I love this.
This is summer, brother. We got to go from the right.
I love it nice. You always set the mood, though. You're a good person to start with.
Okay. Something unexpected that's changed about me in the last year. I mean, okay, other than the haircut, yeah, no.
It's nice you had long hair?
I did, yeah.
Wow.
Other than that, but I think I've noticed a lot of things change within my family dynamics. And I've noticed how I think, families, they're an ever-changing organism. Like, families are literally like a human body. Like, it doesn't stay consistent, right? So things change, things adapt, things like nothing is ever consistent, right? So alhamdulillah, I have a good mother, I have good siblings, I have a good support system around me, and I've noticed that I've had to sort of be more involved directly with the family, sort of like mitigate issues as they come, and be more of a figure. I'm the youngest of my family, I'm the youngest in my house, so for me to sort of step up into more of a role where people come to me for counsel, people come to me for advice, people come to me for a bunch of different things, and it's nice because it's a role that you're not necessarily ready with. Like, nobody says, oh, I want to be like, the patriarch of this family. I mean, we don't like patriarchy, of course, not in the Digital Sisterhood. We don't like patriarchy. But, so nobody says I want to be the figurehead of, what's happening in my family. But, it's a role that, inshallah, one day I want to be capable for. Because, I want to be the reason we set the tone moving forward. Like, one thing I want to consistently do, whether it's with my family, whether it's with my friends, whether it's in any circle that I'm in, I want to consistently set the tone. And I want to consistently let people know that, other than, being a follower of Islam, I don't follow. I'd rather set the tone and lead than follow other people. So that's something I've really noticed coming into myself over the last year or so. And honestly, it's cool, man. It's kind of liberating in and of itself, right?
No, but that is.
Like, it never occurs to you how little... Like, how much these little changes can affect you. It's like a snowball thing. It rolls down a mountain. It's like an avalanche, I'll call it, And I don't know, AB, you can sort of, I'll let you...
Here's my thing. For
Go
me,
ahead,
it's a little bit of... Obviously, we just came out of a unprecedented time.
Crazy.
We're still obviously in it. But the pandemic. I don't know if your family dealt with it, but I've dealt with it as well.
You knew where I was for 4 months.
Yeah, I know. You were stuck. You were stuck. I forgot. That was a while ago. But so... For the first time in my life, after I think we did the first 8 months at home, it was like I'd go with my friends and I would literally run out of things to say because I'm so used to just being in my room all day. It's like, and then the role I play in my friend group is like everybody sort of leans on me, and not only my friend group, but my family members, my siblings individually. It's just in general, like, so it's, I kind of felt like, how do I go back to being who I was before all this? When I'm kind of struggling, trying to, get myself together, right? Like I'm almost like, because I like to classify myself as an extrovert. So to be real, like I never really had a problem going out with my peers and just feeling like, but I'd run out of gas after an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, your social battery's on a zero. Huh?
And then it's like, imagine that. So you're about to go home and you think, and then one of your friends confides in you and tells you that they're going through X, Y, Z, and it's like, I usually have things to say, but not right now. Like, how do I, like, for the first time in my life, that's happened to me recently. Yeah. So I'm like kind of struggling with it. Obviously we're getting better now, to be honest. We haven't really done the podcast for a while. Just talking to Nice and like getting things back on track and going out and just going for walks, to be honest. Have done a number for me.
I think that's the thing about the pandemic. I think everybody goes on walks like a senior.
Yeah.
Like young people are just taking walks to look at the trees.
I'm telling you,
I think everyone's in constant state of contemplation all the time. And so, Abdi Fatah is in the building.
My brother Snipa's in the building. What's going on, brother?
Welcome,
Shout out to my bro, the rock star.
Oh my God.
Assalamu alaikum, bro. What's going on?
So, Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum, bro.
Why don't you introduce yourself for people that don't know you?
Yo, man. It's been a while since I drove on Eglinton Avenue West. It was crazy, yo.
You can't be giving up the address of the stew, man.
I
didn't say the exact. Eglinton is long.
You dropped it. But yo, man, I feel like I'm in Narnia right now.
Yeah.
A pleasure being with the West End royalty, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Well, Sudees is actually from Hamilton.
Toronto
Thank
terms,
you.
I don't understand them.
we're in this together, man. But
all I know is Jane of Finch. That's all I know.
That's all you? Oh, no.
It's an honor being here, Alhamdulillah, really proud of everything the Digital Sisterhood's doing. Really proud of my brothers here too, Alhamdulillah, and I would love to know what you do as well. Pleasure to be here. But my name is Abdul Fattah Hussein, co-founder of Hidayah House. Primarily do a number of different roles across the city, working with youth, mental health, just a lot of crisis support, really. So when I get to wind down and really talk about like amazing, beautiful things like love, I love talking about love. For real. I'm here, I'm locked in.
Especially when you're thinking about attachment styles, I just think of empty. I didn't even know what that was.
I be plugging them in, like just sliding them in,
I never knew about anxious attachment styles until I met you. I never heard that in my life. And then I started to realize, oh damn, me. Well, you're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today. So just to keep you up to speed, we're playing the card game by Vibe Check.
Okay.
Vibe Check. And so it's obviously a marriage questionnaire game where couples will get to know each other for marriage to play. There are discussion-based conversations, and they get to the point.
Dope.
Right? Where the questions you need to know before you even lock and load it and go to the nikah. So it's kind of all-inclusive. It's fun. It's interesting. It's thought-provoking. And it's intentional.
Cuts out all the long talk.
All the long talk.
Let's just get right to
And you won't, I mean, I won't say that you won't have to worry, and it's not going to bring you the perfect person, but it's going to get the ball rolling. Absolutely. And you won't know somebody just on a superficial level. So if you just started to talk to somebody and you played this game, you would know a lot about them by the end of it. Well, at least I hope. I'm not going to toot our horn. We'll find out. But anyways, yeah. So inshallah, we have our last question for icebreakers. So and I know Sudees didn't finish. Did you say your part?
No, I didn't.
So what's changed about you in the last year?
Okay, so just going back to his point of contemplation, I think that's something that been doing a lot this year, and I've moved away from like the outward practices of Islam and focused more on the inward practices, right? So I think that's something that I've really been working on this entire year.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people are reevaluating life this year, and you know what's so interesting? Just to say, so random, but there's been a surgence on dating apps where people have kind of made accounts, and a lot of people create those apps and made millions of dollars. And I remember one of them was the app called Bumble, and it's like run by a 30-year-old blonde woman. And she became a billionaire in a year. And I remember what they asked her was like, why do you think your app became successful? She goes, because people realize loneliness is not cute. Like it doesn't do anything for anybody. And it's like people, and there's a difference of being alone and loneliness. There's a difference. Yeah. You could be alone, but then there's an element of like people feeling a void and feeling like they're not really connecting with people like they want to and stuff. So hopefully the card game does that for people in the halal way. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Uniting Muslim lonely hearts.
Yes. So last question, okay? The last question is, if you came with a warning label, what would it say?
Too hot to handle.
This guy said spicy.
That's a warning label.
Too hot to handle. Nice.
Showed hot.
Oh my god.
No, I'm kidding. It would say what's it called? Delicate matters inside. Please handle with care. Handle with care.
So fragile.
That's a good wording.
I mean, not fragile. Just handle with care. It's like boxed goods, like really good boxed goods. It's like a Fabergé egg in there.
Yeah.
You gotta be delicate, Man, are dealing with me like I'm a Cadbury cream egg, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm a Fabergé.
I missed this guy's description.
I'll be real. I didn't know what he was gonna get there.
You gotta deal with me properly, man.
Yeah.
Trust me.
With all people.
Just like treat me the way you want to be treated. That's my whole thing.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's what I would say though.
For me, expect too many check-ins. I check in too much. Something I'm always working on. Sometimes people don't want to be checked in on,
Yeah.
And that's okay. But gosh, I can't stop it.
I think it's because you work in mental health.
You good? Like I come from the base assumption everyone's always going through it, you know? Like no matter what. So I try to use whatever conversations I have to check in. But yeah, definitely something that it's just too much sometimes, and I completely understand that.
Can I say something though? I think it's very rare. I think a lot of women complain that men don't check in enough.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you, women complain about that a lot. So you're definitely a unicorn.
You'd be surprised because he's saying that, and I like super like I have that problem too, right?
Really?
Yeah.
You're overly checking in?
Yeah. But like I said, a lot of my friends, they lean on me, right? So if I feel like we could just be chilling, and you might not notice it, but I'll notice something's off with your behavior, and I'll be like, all right, so I gotta talk to this brother right here.
This guy's
me. So I gotta talk to this brother like on the side when I get, obviously not on blast, like, yo, what's up with you? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
A lot of people
tell
don't
me
like
about
that.
your trauma, right?
Tell me about your trauma. So it's gotta be on the side, like, gotta be delicate. Some people don't want to talk about it, right?
No.
And also I realized people always constantly check in with others the way that they usually want to be checked in on, right?
That's true.
So alhamdulillah, I have a great support system, people checking on me all the time. And before I didn't, so now I'm realizing, wow, I really love that. So I'm assuming everyone else would love that, right? But if it's not just for checking in, it goes for everything, right? Like,
I think too. I think women do like when men check in.
They love, not like love.
I don't know. I don't know if you agree, but I feel like it has been a problem in the past. For me, I feel like some people they might take it for granted. They might take you as you're why is he always asking me about this?
Yeah.
Or why are you always like
you're so inner.
No, not inner. Like, how are you? Like, is everything alright with you?
Wow.
Some people take it offensive. Like, I've had a woman take it
offensively.
Oh
wow.
Like, are you trying to say something's wrong with me?
Oh wow.
And I'm going home like, I've never really asked somebody how they were.
Yeah.
Or they took it.
Yeah.
I think it kind of speaks though to like as healthy of a coping mechanism we think it is to check in on people, like people will always want what they're accustomed to until they realize that it wasn't good. So, and that takes a while, right? So like I've realized that not even just with like romantic relationships, but with friends and stuff, like, yo, you it's gonna be a shock for everyone, and sometimes we have to be the ones to be like, okay, as well as my intentions are, I gotta ease back a bit because it's just not their time for doing this, you know.
Sometimes people, you gotta read the room.
Yeah.
But just
But that's mine. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no. So for me, I think if I was to have a caution label, it would be that I can always be busy. I'm always busy. So I actually have a hard time in making time for someone else. So yeah, I think that's one caution label that I would put. Yeah.
I think it's so interesting because like a lot of my friends complain about like how he doesn't even. I'll go weeks and I won't hear from him. The guy, like, is he alive? Is he dead?
Weeks?
Yeah, like.
Take the hint, sis. He's not interested.
That's bizarre.
which might be the case, but when they do, you know, communicate, like, is everything okay? It's like, oh no, it's just busy. But then again, like, what is wrong with just being upfront with really how you feel? You know, just tell.
What do you think is a normal time to like?
To tell somebody you're not interested.
Guys, is it too much to ask for like one text message? You know,
a day, yeah.
I'm busy.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm holla at
weeks.
Yeah. After 2 days is alarming.
Take the hint, sister. That guy's not for you. Take the hint.
To be honest, I know women or I know people who are in relationships that talk once a week. And it's like they do it at a particular slot. Yeah. And I think that's great. And for especially people who don't talk all the time, they're busy like Abdi Fattah. And they're really, really busy. But I like that because they recognizing
5 minutes?
No,
like,
they talk for like 2 hours.
No, but like I'm saying like not even message, you can be busy, but like just 5 minutes. Like,
well, it's not. It's 5 minutes. It depends on your style, right? It depends on styles of communication.
True.
There are some women who literally cannot actually do it every day. They don't even talk to their friends every day. You know, which again, friends and relationships shouldn't be on the same
shouldn't be on
level.
The same,
but you know, it's about recognizing each other's needs.
It's almost the same amount of effort, though.
Yeah,
a friendship is literally a relationship in and of itself. Like,
yeah,
I think they're just as deep, if not more, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes your soulmate can be your friend. You know, people don't even know that.
It's very true. It's very true.
But what's your warning label?
Oh my god, nice. Thank you for my warning label.
I'm on you.
I don't know what my warning label would be. I think honestly, I'm a very understanding person, and I will give you husna done until the walls fall down. But if you cross me and it's like, and I've hit my peak, there's no coming back. Like I'll check out. It's kind of a toxic trait a little bit. Like I give and I give and I give, and then I get to a point where. So if you took advantage of it, I'm off, and there's nothing you can say to convince me out of it, because in my mind it's like I gave you so many chances, and I verbalized it and I communicated it, which again, like I don't know, I don't like that about myself. It's something I'm working on. So for me, it's like proceed with caution. That's what would be my warning label. Proceed with caution, definitely. You wouldn't think that meeting me. You think, oh, this girl's chill.
Yeah, you seem very.
But it really is proceed with caution, meaning like. Don't do something crazy. Don't do something crazy with me.
Cutoff game strong.
No, it's crazy.
Leave it to Allah.
Yeah, it's literally.
I'll make the strongest of du'as for you.
No,
but don't crack
and I won't be disrespectful, but I can't do it. We can't, because I know I'm a very like. I know if we're gonna work or not. Okay, I'm excited. Let's get to the next section. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys pick. Would you want to go into intimacy, scenarios, finance? Okay, family.
Let's do finance.
Social issues.
Finance, yeah. You know I don't know math, bro.
You know finance
Actually,
is very.
What were the last two? We cut you off.
Social issues, and I think I said family, social issues, intimacy, icebreakers, and finance.
I think that's a man's like dignity.
I'm financially. I'm not financially
literate. I'm agree with you guys. It's very straight. Like it's discussion based, but we need to know about the money. And
facts.
And a lot of people they don't talk enough about money.
Yeah.
Because it's uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Right? It's very uncomfortable. But it's
broke.
necessary.
I'm broke.
I know.
I feel like a lot of the conversations that do ever happen around money are like such a waste of time, you know? Like I mean on social media, not even between individuals, you know?
Yep.
How much is your meher?
Oh my God.
Yo, if I hear that question on any platform again, in between anyone, I'm reporting.
And you'd be surprised because when we were recording, we used to get at least 30 messages a day.
Yeah.
Whenever we dropped the episode about why don't you guys talk more about meher?
Yeah.
You guys talked about
it's
it for 5 minutes.
It's a very straightforward thing too.
It's simple.
Yeah.
It's overcomplicated.
Yeah.
It's you know what you want.
Yeah.
We have the discussion. We agree or we don't agree.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know, it's a lot of people talking to us about, and sorry, not to segue off, just a lot of people talking to us about things we're not knowledgeable about. What do I know about meher? If somebody said to me, 10K is the price, I'm saying, oh, maybe that might be normal. I don't know.
I don't know if that's normal.
I'm not married. I don't know.
I don't know what normal is. I don't know what the market value.
A man told me 12 camels. I said, how much is that? Like, actually,
first of all, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I will say though, the issue with the whole meher talk is that people equate it to their self-value.
True.
And that is a huge problem. Okay, my mom's meher. Okay, my mom's a whole barambra lady. You think her meher is a lot of?
She's a legend.
Okay, you think her meher was it was a kitab and $5. And let me tell you why. My grandfather highly encourages, say, do not make it hard for the man you want to marry. He's a good person. You know, and it's her choice. He says, your choice though. You could drop 10K. We're gonna ask him 10K. Period. But when something is good and this is a means, and you know he doesn't have it, you have knowledge that he wouldn't be able to afford it, then that's the choice you have to make. Do you want to marry the man or not? You know. And she's like, I want to marry the man. It's fine.
Because if you love someone enough, then you're willing to shoulder something. You know what I mean?
It's about reasonability too, right?
Our relationships need compromise and all that stuff. Yeah,
but if she does, I will say though, if she asks for you, it's period.
That's what I was taught.
It's period. I was taught I
wasn't taught to set them out, but if she asks and you can't do it, and then you can't compromise on it, then just leave it alone.
You can't coerce her out of it.
No, 100%.
You know, honestly, I've never seen a situation where there was someone that got slapped with like, my meher is 2 million. Let's get a pop. I've never heard of something crazy unreasonable. You know, most of the time, from what I've seen, I don't want to speak on other people's experiences. The person speaks to the other person based on like one, they knew what they were getting into, the job that they were doing, the career path that they were pursuing, and they asked them accordingly. To be honest, like this is what trips me about social media. I've never seen married couples argue about meher.
Never.
And I've never seen people getting into marriages arguing about meher.
It's always single people.
Exactly.
It's because it's a hot topic.
And it's really not that spicy. There's not that much best to it,
you know? And it's not monopoly. Like, if the person tells you come up off dollars, come off it. Like, if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. You have to be willing.
It's simple. It's just simple.
You have to be willing.
And a lot of times, isn't the meher come from the family and they tell the daughter what they want?
The girl
people
chooses.
Work it out.
It's just the girl chooses. It's a girl's choice. It's not the family's choice. It's the girl's choice. She tells it, and then that's how it goes. Simple. It's really not supposed to be complicated. It. Yeah, it's no complicated. You tell them like, choose. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. You can't afford it. You drop the dollars.
Okay, so I'm sorry. We got distracted. We got distracted.
By the way, this is genius, yo. Give it up for the digital system one time, man.
No, we did die for 8 months doing this, but you know what? I really appreciate the applause.
Okay, so
finance. So we're at finance. Yeah, we're gonna do finance. So the first question under finance is, what does enough money look like to you?
Oh,
let me guess. Nice has to go first. Okay.
You too.
Yeah.
You're our favorite person, Nice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. What does enough money look like to Nice? Okay. Enough money to me, and this is, I guess, reflective of the environment of which I grew up in. I think enough money is knowing that we have a good savings account where, God forbid, you lose a job, I lose a job, where we're not begging and pushing on the street, right? Mm-hmm. I think enough money is us being able to have 2 vehicles, right? I think that's enough money. You being able to handle 2 vehicles. I think us being able to financially support our children without it being strainful to the point of it breaking. Like, it's like a rubber band. You can stretch it to an extent, but if you stretch it too far, it breaks, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm hoping that me being comfortable in that sense is just having enough money to be able to stretch myself as far as I can within reason. I feel like I've walked around that a lot, but just enough to make my life comfortable. Just in the sense where I have cars that I can get to where I need to go. I can feed my children without having to go digging in my pocket and be like, oh my God. And, my wife and I can afford, clothing. You know what I mean? Like you know how I feel about clothing.
Yeah.
You know how I feel.
Yes, I understand. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta say anymore.
I'm not going to because I'm not allowed to say it. But that's just me. That's just me. I just want to be comfortable.
Sure. Yeah, I would say the same. Just trying to meet the minimum requirements of living a happy life. I don't want to ever reach that point where it's like, and we all know that boundary you cross when it's just now it's overindulgence. Mm-hmm. Now your expenses have increased because you've gotten more money, and then you're paying for more things, and then like, I don't want to ever get caught in that loop. So inshallah, crib, we're saved up for emergencies for my family and hers, Mm-hmm. I don't know if everyone thinks like this, but like I'm constantly thinking about like, do we have enough for funerals? You know, like that's a big thing for like everyone, you know, inshallah, or like at least to be able to support that, and also to support like new births. You know what I mean? A new life, the unexpected things in life, wallahi. But yeah, but there has to be a consistent stream of income. Like that's the biggest thing, you know, because like I know everyone. Like this dunya isn't made for everyone to like, and this is a sad reality, for everyone to like live their dream work life and like, you know, constantly work a career. And it's something we should all strive to, even if it doesn't work out. But I'm talking about just the consistency of things. Like I have to have something locked in where like at least I know if this doesn't work out, then I can do this. And if I get fired here, I can go over there, you know, but it's a consistency. I think that's the key for me right now.
For sure.
So for me, it's I like to take care of the people that I love. So for me, it's a little bit, it's close, but I want to be the one to make my family comfortable. So that means like I want to come into the situation knowing that whether my wife has a job or not, I'm taking care of everything, and that she has her thing and she does her thing, and we have like, obviously we're covered, but I want to be the guy to cover all of that stuff, like have the car, all that stuff, inshallah, all that stuff in place, so that she doesn't really have any pressure, and she can like raise our kids the way I want. Like obviously we want to raise them together and do all those things. So I just want to be the guy to cover all that. So that's comfortable for me. So it's to be able to know that no matter what, I got this, and that I don't want to put no pressure. Yeah, we're covered. Like I just want, because I understand it's a very daunting task being a mother and raising kids in this society, and trying to also carry the faith, and then on top of that, not lose the culture. Let's be real. We're losing it.
We're two shades away from being Erics and Davids.
So of course,
yes, we're two shades, bro.
So that's it for me. It's just
shout
like
out to the moms,
I want to be able to hold it down before I sign up and go to a family and say I want your daughter, and then I can't hold it down, and then you know you know which is I don't want to embarrass myself.
What does badana mean? Just to get for my listeners or what Somali.
Super embarrassing, yo.
That's a translation for that's crazy.
That's super embarrassing, yo.
Oh, that's an idiot. That's what it is.
No, I'm just laughing because you're like, yo, I gotta take her out. You know, I gotta take her from her house, but I'm gonna go take her to Goody Donuts. It's crazy.
I have to have everything handled before I do that. You know,
nothing wrong with that though. Yeah. Can we just? There's nothing wrong with that.
But do you want to tell our non-English speaker what dolid means?
So Goody Donuts, government housing.
You don't want to take a girl out of her father's house into a government housing.
Her father lives in government housing too, so we don't care. We don't care.
But they struggled though. You can't.
You can't.
Oh, you said I have no right.
Nice. Okay, there is no right there.
I have no right.
I'll be honest with you. We're trying to level up.
That's true.
We're not trying to say why would you take her? Dad have to put a
excuse me for loving the trenches. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I mean, the goal is to achieve. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Now, if you both have an agreement that you are acceptable to go to government housing because you're trying to that's another conversation. But in general,
let's not get stuck there. Yeah, no, let's not get stuck there.
I don't know what father is gonna allow. You know, because he wants a bright future for his daughter.
No, definitely.
And it's fair. He's saying no.
No, like, he has every right.
He has every right. And I think you would say no, nice, if your daughter was my God, after you bust your behind to get a goody doled, by the way, to bust around to get a government housing, and only for you to say I'm taking her back there with in English language.
No, you know we do. We glorify the struggle.
We do.
And Snipa knows. AB knows. We glorify the struggle. Yeah. And we overexert it to the extent where we're like, we're in the trenches. It's like it's so entrenched in who we are. But that's a separate thing.
Yeah, Sudees.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, I think a house in a good neighborhood is really important because, the last thing you want is your kid to grow up a gangster. I think a set of, cars, 2 or 3 cars.
2 or 3 cars is enough money?
Huh?
That's it. That's what you think is enough money?
This is not a Pixar movie.
I'm not done yet.
Let him speak. Don't cut it.
2 or 3 cars and then enough money, and if I could give you guys a price range, maybe somewhere between, for the 2 of us, 95,000 to maybe 130,000. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
No,
right?
Sudees, you're better than these young men. You're envisioning what you are.
Yeah.
He's very specific. He said $95,000.
No, because I know the Canadian Bureau says that to live a comfortable life for one individual is what, 48,000, 45,000. So I'm just trying to
You doubled it, basically
double
doubled
that,
that.
and then
Because
if you
for a
have
wife and
kids and then all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to
So averagely, you think the only to survive is 95 above.
Well, for
no,
one
just-
person's
let's say 100.
45.
what?
So
For
no,
a couple,
to live a comfortable life where money is not a problem anymore.
For one person is? How
So
much?
for one person, it's 48,000. So you could live in a big house. You could
Oh my
yearly.
God. And this is like Canada.
The Canadian Bureau, yes. And I think that's
$95,000
I think
kinda
that stat was in Vancouver. Or maybe
that's
it's more
big.
So
Oh,
Vancouver's a
similar.
bit more than here, but it's still,
yeah,
it's the
and
same
but it's
thing,
still
though.
the
It's the same.
yes.
Yeah.
Also depending on like
Yeah.
people's specific expenses and stuff too,
Exactly,
right? Yeah.
exactly.
So that's very
Yo, I need
interesting.
to write that down. I did not know that.
That's
that
very
was a
interesting.
number,
I
right?
appreciate you dropping the
No,
knowledge.
no, I got you guys.
No,
yeah.
that's very interesting. I think a lot of us are looking at it. I don't want to, because at the end of the day, like, you
I
don't
think-
have to be super like comfortable to get married. Some people get married and they're okay with like figuring it out. But like now I know why people are single. $95,000
for the two of us. For
the two
of
for
us.
two like averagely two people.
Yeah.
I think
That's-
I think it's intimidating.
That's
though.
intimidating. Like saying the number
Yeah.
sounds intimidating.
So even the concept of even what I said and
Yeah.
what the brothers here said is like, if you don't have at least two quarters of what we talked about,
Yeah.
Real talk.
you can love a woman. You'll meet a girl. It could be the perfect girl. Everything. How do you go to her family now? You know?
Mhm. And Somali weddings, I don't know about other Somali weddings, like what averagely $30,000,
Yeah.
Mm.
and that's if-
15 to 30.
and that's
And
if
you have to have that money for, and that includes the wow. It's I mean it's a preparation for it, but I do believe that parents do make it easy for youth to get married.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
think
had
a
this
lot-
They do.
conversation with my homies the other day, right? Just to segue off of this too. Everybody's gonna have some sort of obstacle when they're about to tie the knot, right? Like there's always gonna be something.
Absolutely.
But to the logic of like, you know, and of course this is in our deen, right? Paraphrase me, I'm not a sheikh, but you know, something along the lines of, you know, Allah will provide for you and make it easier for you and your risk will come when you decide to do it.
yeah.
But that doesn't take away your obligation of preparing for it.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. You have to tie
And
your camel.
that's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, yo, Allah wrote everything.
Yeah.
But if I just stay in my room 24/7 for 8 years, I'm not gonna land on $1 million. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
you have a due obligation,
I've-
and also
yeah.
it's an inconvenience to like sell someone a dream, right? And I think that's the bigger issue. Like a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people because I don't know a lot of people, right? But people do that, right? People sell people dreams. They promise them these financial aspirations and comfortability and a house outside of their home, and I think that's the issue, right? When you can't even do it.
Absolutely.
So
Just
Dave,
be
you have
real
a
with
thought?
it.
I was gonna make a point. I've heard from multiple people that do get married. They always say that once you do get married, the wealth just starts flowing in
It
from
does.
different directions.
Allah opens doors for you.
SubhanAllah, and I've never understood why exactly, because they make the same amount of money.
Mhm.
But they've just told me that, you know, they've had the ability to save better. You know, I know a guy. He worked in the oil fields, and he says, I make almost 120K a year.
MashaAllah.
But ever since I got married last month, this is the first time I've ever had like
Surplus.
$6,000 in savings.
Wow, Allah Akbar.
SubhanAllah.
May
So-
Allah make more for him.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's the point, right? Is that Allah has our rizq already ordained for
Facts.
us, and every person has a rizq, and every relationship has, every child does. But I feel like some people are worried. You know, I feel like if you might ask a guy like, "Why are you single?" Like, where I think he might say money. He'd be like, "I don't know if I can do it." And I feel like there's also the stigma of like, it's kind of on you guys that if you don't have it and you don't have figured it out alone, like, you shouldn't, this is a luxury you can't afford. Marriage, which should be easy, subhanAllah.
One of my
But
dogs put it perfectly. He mashallah Mubarak, he got married just recently, and he's just like,
Inshallah.
and I saw him switch over
Yeah.
so quickly in a 6-month span when he was like locked and ready to do it, and he literally said, "Fam, everything is gonna open up for me simply because I'm doing it for the sake of Allah. I
Period.
wanna make everything halal. I wanna do it for the sake of Allah." And then like, yo, like you're gonna be saving because now you're thinking about a future with somebody. You know what I mean? You're gonna
Yeah,
be doing
of
it. So
course,
Love that.
yeah, man.
Wow. And I think men need to be encouraged.
Yeah.
And I really do, because I feel like they feel down about it.
Of course,
I
'cause
know my brother
I
worries about it.
I think our role in it is
Yeah.
intimidating though.
Yeah,
like
it is.
It's difficult. There's obstacles like he said,
Yeah.
but it's just you don't want to come unprepared. And you don't want to, you hear, and social media doesn't make it easier.
No,
We're
it
in social
doesn't.
media era.
No, it
So
doesn't.
everything on social media is in your face. So it's like, you're reading it and it's like, it's even if you don't really care, like,
It's there.
it's there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that's how you're like, damn, that's how you feel. It can be even the lady you're interested in. And you
Mhm.
see the stuff she likes and you're gonna be like, whoa. I didn't see this coming, you know?
Yeah.
She be retweeting things where you're like, oh.
And you're like, are you sending me a message? Are you trying to tell me something?
Let's keep it a buck, yo. Listen,
Yeah.
and this is for guys and girls. Yo, no matter what a person's tweeting, I've realized it means absolutely
It's
nothing
cap.
about how they actually think.
It's cap.
Yeah.
It's cap.
Just because
For
I
anybody,
retweet
I've
something,
realized,
it doesn't
you know?
reflect my
It's-
mental
it's-
space.
it's not-
Absolutely.
it's not real, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yo, I have my dog and he's constantly reposting food stuff and he's allergic to majority of it.
Oh my God.
It's
Also, he's just
ridiculous.
dreaming, though.
Yeah.
He's torturing
Yeah.
himself. That guy's sadomasochist, yo.
Social media is not real. It's not real.
Sorry, I had to
I
go
know.
ahead.
So,
No.
so what's yours?
Me?
She just,
Yeah.
she
What was the
No,
question?
no,
What was
no.
the question again?
Because she just tells what's comfortable for her.
Yeah.
What is enough money? Honestly, personally, we're here for a short time, not a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that what enough money look like to me is not having to worry, but I'm not also asking for a vacation twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? There's a difference
Yeah.
between
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
When
You
people
literally
say
did what I did. You walked around
which
it.
is true. I'm gonna be honest. It's not too vacation. When I say if I can eat, I can have good clothing, I can have a roof over my head, and I don't have to worry about like if something bad happens.
So stability.
Stability, but I don't care for extravagance either. Like
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about like vacations or Prada bags or you know what I mean, like which a lot of people might be interested in. I'm not interested in that.
Like a lot.
I think there's no shade into, to be honest. It's, if you can afford it,
Some
bro,
people like
afford
vanity.
it. You
Some
can
people
afford
love
it.
vanity. That's their thing.
And if they can afford it, why is that my
More
business?
power to them.
It's their business. But for me, enough money, wallahi, alhamdulillah, is enough to give sadaqah. If I can give sadaqah without being afraid,
Yeah, 100%.
I am balling. What are you talking about? Like, if I could go to Jum'ah Salah and they're having the thingy and I don't have to worry about what I put in, I am the richest woman alive.
Because
What are
you know
talking
you're
about?
supposed to reach in your pocket, not look.
Yeah, and look, but you know when you're broke, you look, but
Yeah.
you have to give it anyway,
Exactly.
right? But I that feeling, I don't want to feel that. I just want to be like, which I think I have to do more. Then that means like I should do more.
We already know it's gonna come back.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna come
that's
back.
The intention of it is beautiful.
Yeah,
wallahi.
it is.
Mashallah.
We're all taking note.
We're-
No, I like that answer.
No,
as well.
no.
I really
Oh,
like
thank you,
that.
thank you. So my next question for finance is, what are the things you think we should go 50-50 on? Pause. I know the story is getting so good, but wait, I have a message for you that you're going to want to hear. Okay? Have you been looking for an opportunity to reconnect your faith by building a relationship with the Quran, or even learning Quranic Arabic, or even getting your questions answered about different rulings? Well, let me tell you, the Ribat Academic Institute is an online program that provides traditional Islamic education for women by women. Yes, you heard me right. Islamic education for women by women. Yes, all the courses are taught by female scholars. Allah Mubarak. You have a choice from over 50 courses ranging from Sirah to Tajweed to Fiqh and Hadith. You can even take classes like the 99 Names of Allah, or Purifying the Heart, or the reflections from the Quran and the lessons from the life of the Prophet ﷺ, as well as a Mentorship Matters program on how to guide and support and help others. Ribat's online classes have been reconnecting Muslim women from all around the world with their faith and helping them reclaim their traditionally held leadership roles in Islamic scholarship, mentorship, and community care. All classes are held live online and recordings are posted after class. And the courses, guys, the courses are affordable. They're not expensive at all. They also provide country discounts and scholarships are available. Scholarships are available. So there's no reason why you shouldn't sign up. So if you're interested, visit Rabata, that's RABATA.info/TDS and register today.
Okay, can I start this?
Yes,
Yo,
Sudees,
big
take it
time.
away, take it away.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
sensei today.
Yes, he is. So,
I'm excited to hear these answers.
Get in front of the fire for us, sir.
okay, so for me, I would love to pay for everything. However, the world we live in and where we live in, I don't think we can. Like, a man can't pay for
Every single thing.
every single thing. Is impossible. Rent here, I think, for a little apartment is what, $2,000 if I'm not mistaken.
2,500 actually.
If
Right.
you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I live in a house and that's 2,500. So, you know, yeah, you're gonna have to go 50-50 with almost everything. Like maybe you might cover the groceries or you might cover the insurance. I think insurance here is what, $400 too, right? It's difficult, especially
Yeah.
for middle class men that make, I don't know, on a good person makes almost like $3,000 or $4,000 a month,
Yeah.
right? But I think for most we're making maybe 2,000, after university and that kind of stuff, and that's where we want to get married. It's prime time when we want to get married. So I think just until the man is stable and has a good job and makes a good salary, I think they're gonna have to go 50-50, not because the guy doesn't want to pay for her bills, but because he just can't.
No, it's valid.
Thank you for taking that bullet for us.
Is that how you feel, AB?
I feel like I agree.
Or you can get a girlfriend back home and
Nah, don't
No.
get it
They are just as expensive.
Don't get it
No.
You
All women
try to find a
deserve.
shortcut. That's what you try to do. You try to find a shortcut.
Yes, which is a massive problem, by the way, because women everywhere deserve to be provided for on same
Facts.
standard.
Yeah.
Back home and here.
Yep.
But what do you
He's
think?
right.
AB?
Though. A lot of people think like that.
No,
though.
of
A lot
course.
people think like that.
Even our old parents, they'll say, "Oh, it's just," and I look at them like, no, "We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that."
I
Because
would
it's just
agree though, still, to be honest.
yeah.
I think I would do the same. Like I would just wallah, I would love to make so much money that this room is filled to the roof with lag,
Yeah.
which is money for those who don't know Somali, being mindful of the audience.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think it really just depends on like what the people are making. Honestly, every relationship is different. I know relationships where the woman is making the most money, like double the amount what he is, and then within a few years that completely changed.
Don't be insecure.
You know what I
she makes
mean?
more
And
money
he
than
was
you.
in school, so it's like, there's so much other things than just like the living expenses, right? Like someone may be investing in their school, someone may be building up their business, whatever the case is. It's all about that communication. You guys have to be a team, like whatever works out. And if you have your set boundaries and you say to yourself, like before you even have met the person, I think that's what my kind of issue is. Like before people even meet other people, like not even just single, like they are not even interested in anyone, and they're already like, wallahi, I'll never pay $1 for the rest of my life, and it's just like, yo, you don't even know what Allah might throw at you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He
Real
might throw you a
talk.
person that you love so much who doesn't have a penny to their name, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I also agree with both what my brother said, but the only thing that's a no for me is I feel like I, as a man, probably because my dad
Let
did
me hear
it,
the toxic masculinity.
I gotta pay the rent.
Yeah.
Like the rent and the car,
Yeah.
I don't, no compromise. I'll cover that.
Yeah.
I guess groceries, maybe.
Yeah.
But like even that, like I want to cover at least like 8. Like I want my wife to like focus on doing whatever it is that she does, whether she has a job,
Yeah.
whether she stays home, takes care of my family, whatever it is that she does, and that she comes into the situation, has her mind set out to, and we agree on. I want to cover that, but obviously maybe like the small miscellaneous, the internet, the maybe the insurance,
No, I agree with that.
the groceries, like those small things.
You said utilities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the utilities. But that
Sound like
goes
a
hand-
landlord agreement.
All of that, all of that. Yeah, utilities.
Okay, perfect. So we did finances, so now we're gonna go into social issues.
Okay.
This is where it gets a little heated, but
Let's get into intimacy.
yeah. Oh, you
actually.
want to do
Yeah,
intimacy?
let's get into
Let's
intimacy.
Just
jump
a love
into
him on you. I didn't wanna do
intimacy.
this.
I love that.
I
That's what the
actually
girls want to
Don't
hear.
hate on his drip.
Yo,
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
talking about no intimacy. I'm not a lover man, bro.
Oh
Don't do
my
that.
God.
Yo, guys,
Okay.
disclaimer, this is the
Nothing wrong with
biggest
that.
love about
This guy, right?
Nice, right?
Full of love.
Man.
I feel it. What parts? Okay, and this is a question for intimacy. What parts of you do you want to be acknowledged by your partner?
I think I gotta walk out.
No, you want to talk first? You want me to talk?
What parts?
What parts of you do you want to be acknowledged by your partner?
do I want to be acknowledged?
I don't think I understand the question now.
Yeah,
got it.
I don't
Yo,
think I understand.
Let me try to paraphrase.
No.
it for you.
It's like
Just so I can see if I understand.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's just physical parts she's
Okay.
talking
Yeah.
about. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay,
Like
okay,
what
yeah.
part of yourself, your
Yeah.
identity, what you love about yourself, do you want to be recognized by your partner?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Snipa. I should
Love
say
that.
Snipa. Thank you.
Love that.
So you guys want me to begin?
Yeah,
go ahead.
any-
So for me, again, there's one thing I think every man wants. So I'm going to speak for each and every single one of you
Speak for
guys.
yourself.
I think,
Go ahead. No, you can speak. You can speak.
I
Go ahead.
think, I think it's that respect that a man deserves, right? That the woman shouldn't talk up to him and try to argue with him every single time, and actually show that respect. That's one thing that I want a girl to acknowledge, to give me the respect I deserve. Yeah, but of course it's a two-way street, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, AB.
Hey man, that's a tough question. To be honest, I don't know, man. Maybe notice how much I'm willing to, because I compromise, and I'm the oldest of all my siblings. Well, the ones that live with me right now. But I'm the oldest of all my siblings, so I always compromise. I'm quick to compromise in my friend group. So I even in my relationships, I'm always the one who finds a common medium. I'll give up whatever it is that, obviously not my dreams, but like whatever it is that I might be fixated on in the moment for the greater good. So I hope she understands, like, hey man, I'm compromising this. Like, do you, like, just acknowledge it?
Basically,
not really.
she understands that you're willing to go the extra mile. Basically,
yeah. To make everybody comfortable. So by doing so, don't like try to like take more than I'm giving you, or like take advantage of that.
Don't take that for granted. Yeah, definitely.
So obviously acknowledge that. Yeah,
I see that. I know that about you, bro.
Yeah,
I know that about you.
That's a fact, man.
I would say like I would want the person to at least not recognize or admire or anything, but I just want them to at least recognize my obligation to my family and my larger community.
Absolutely.
I won't be able, like, I've seen these things on TLC. I watch TLC sometimes. Right?
Hey,
terrifying. Okay. No, but like,
real life too.
No, real talk. Like people that give you ultimatums and like, like why are you checking in on your fams that often? Like why are you involved and still helping out in certain places? And it's like, this is literally part of my identity. This is like one of the very few things that I can't compromise on,
Coming from the South Asian community, what happens is you'll have the girl, like the wife of the man, always try to take him away from the mom. Like, don't show your mom that much attention. Don't give her that much money. Don't place your emphasis on her, but rather place it on me. And that's really common in the South Asian community.
Have you seen that happen often?
Yeah, so I'm from Pakistan, and yeah, it does happen
Pakistan
a lot.
Karachi?
No, Texala.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because like for me, like I haven't really known anyone who's been in that situation, right?
That's pretty.
But it's
alarming.
like something that I would be terrified to be in.
It's
but
not
like,
even something we face in our community. So it's like, I've never.
I don't think it doesn't happen in our community.
We don't really see it.
Probably just don't talk about it.
Or probably don't talk about it. Yeah, I've never seen it.
No, I'm saying it doesn't really happen with us. Like it's not a really prevalent issue with us. Like it's not like out there that people common knowledge, But sorry, go ahead, bro.
No. That's it. Yeah.
What's something you want recognized?
Okay, so it's my turn.
brother nice.
It's my turn. Okay.
Yes,
Hi guys, I'm nice.
He's a nice guy.
Oh, I'm super nice. Yeah, I smile all the time. What's something that I want somebody to recognize in me? I would want them to understand, and again, like Snipa said, not admire, not whatever. Just I want you to understand that I was a person before I met you. I was an entire human being with my own experiences, with my own life, and my own, my whole vibe before you came. That dictates who I am more than your influence and your, being around me. You know what I mean? Like your presence and your doesn't have it will, especially if we get married down the road. But I mean, right now I am who I am because of the things that I've seen, and I'm not as compromising as AB, and I'm not as involved as my bro Snipa is. Like I'm not. That's not me. I don't pretend to be those things. And one thing I would hope for is people to understand: I'll never pretend to be somebody I'm not. I'd rather you dislike me for who I am than like me for someone I'm not. And
wow, and nice is dropping the heat today.
Continue,
brother.
No lie, like I'm always, and AB knows this about me, especially like I'm willing and I'm ready. I'm always ready to take the harder way. I'm ready to take the way that people don't take, and I'm ready to take and voice the opinions that other people don't want to take. Because it's just who I am. I'm not a contrarian by any measure, but I just don't always agree. And I'll state it, and I'll show you why I don't agree. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not agreeing with you. I don't expect that. So I would want the sister that I'm talking to understand I am nice.
Yeah. So you want her to recognize your individuality.
I'm very big on that, and understand that.
That's actually really important.
Yeah, I think I think a lot of people actually argue with that because, like, I think a lot of people expect people to change.
And but you do have to change to an extent.
To a certain extent, but to who the essence of who you are.
You can't change to be the person that they want.
Exactly.
You just have to be the person that they want.
Yeah.
And my thing is, and it'll always be, this is the point. Whether I am, a student, whether I'm, a podcaster, whether I'm, this, that, and the third, all of those things can change. The one thing that's not going to change about Nice is that he's a work in progress.
Sure.
And we all are, honestly. And I think that's what's important, is to recognize that we all are
nice.
all a work in progress.
I'm so proud of you.
That's deep.
Listen, man, they don't let me sing on intros anymore, so I have to be more, I have to be more thoughtful and thought provoking.
No, I love that. But Snipa, what part of you? Did you say the same?
Yeah.
So it's me. I keep running around.
Yeah, I love
I think
reflecting.
honestly, and it's not as deep as you guys are. So I think the part about me that I want to be acknowledged the most is my humor. I want somebody to think I'm funny.
No, you are funny.
You know what I mean? Like I want to, because I know it's so simple.
I think you're funny.
I think it's simple, and the reason why that is that when you think I'm funny, I think you can recognize that like I run on my own, like my own thing, and I think
your own rhythm.
And I think it has a lot to do with individuality. You're right. I think with you, I agree with that part. I think I want to be recognized for individuality, and that when you recognize somebody for individuality, I can't be replaced. And if you know I can't be replaced, then you're going to appreciate me more.
Mm-hmm. Somebody play Beyonce irreplaceable.
And I honestly think, because I'm finding this mentality of that a lot of our youth have is I can find something better.
Yeah.
And I think that's holding us back.
That disposability is
Wallahi.
lethal.
It's so toxic. And everyone is always
Can't work on
there
anything.
might be something better. This might be a better guy and better girl.
We talked about it earlier, right? It's not just Gen Zers, even millennials. We have that problem where
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
it's not. It's literally like it's a combination of being non-confrontational and always thinking grass is greener, right?
Yeah.
That's just your nuffs talking, though, right? Because
Yeah.
that's like everybody has that. I don't even think that's exclusive to just our generation of younger people. But I think that's just a nuffs thing. Like that's like a soul thing. You know what I mean? Like the grass in your mind and in your soul is always greener than what it actually is.
Yeah, to be honest, fam, that's if I'm gonna be very honest and vulnerable here
Please do,
Yo,
brother.
on the podcast.
Please.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest vices in friendships. You know what I mean? In relationships with family, even. If you rub me the wrong way, cutoff game so strong. These scissors are so sharp.
Yeah.
You know, like. My one homie described it as like I'm having janazas for people in my head when they're still alive, you know? It's crazy, bro. But I realized, yo, fam, like a lot of those things you could have had a conversation about. You know what I mean? You could have addressed it. And then the real deep rooting issue is like, it's a fear of like confronting somebody and then angering yourself even more.
So do you feel like that was your toxic?
Oh, 100%. Bro, I don't like confrontation.
Neither do
you know what I mean? Because when I get there, but confrontation for me, confrontation is not an argument. Conversation is not a debate. I love that, right? If you're yelling at me or you disrespect me, I don't want to get to that place, you know? And I barely ever have. So that ultimate fear of that has pushed me away from ever even encroaching on that territory, you know? But then I realized, and I had to make peace with people on this, wallahi. I've had to call up people and check on them because I'm like, I know it's been 4 years, but like maybe what you did wasn't worthy of me just like cutting you off forever. You know what I'm saying?
It was
Generally, forgive me for the sake of Allah. If anyone else does hear me, may Allah forgive me for the sake of Allah. But yeah, fam, it's a big thing. And it comes for a lot of different people, especially in relationships, I've realized, you know? Like I have people that call me on certain support lines and crisis lines, you know? And they're calling crisis lines about their relationship because that's a crisis in their life, you know? And they're telling me, yo, fam, like this person did this, or she'll be like, yo, he did that, and like I think I'm just gonna leave now, you know, and it's gonna be the hardest thing in my life, but I'm gonna do it. And then I talked to them a bit about like, what have you now done? And the question I wish I asked myself, right? What have you done to like sort out this conflict? Like, tell me like feasible steps that you've actually done. What text messages, or like who have you reached out to? Have you talked to anyone about it? And a lot of the times, the biggest factor, and this is what I wanted to loop back into, is that we ask advice from people that, you know, have left toxic relationships, that themselves aren't in a position of compromise with others, that see themselves in you, right? So the advice that they'll give you is the advice that they want for themselves. So they'll be like, yo, bun them. You deserve better than that. Get out of here. And a lot of the times that's real advice, right? Like if it's listen, if anyone's listening, if you're in a dangerous situation,
it's time to go.
Emotionally, physically, whatever the case is, get out of there, right?
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of gray area, right? That are not in those categories. And it's like some of those things perhaps you can work on, you know?
And for me, I feel like I agree with him in the aspect of, for me, like the reason I'm non-confrontational is I love the vibe. Like it's crazy that we're doing that. It's like these guys, all my friends know. It's like if the vibe's not blessed, I'm probably gonna leave. Like I'm just gonna rub. I'm gonna get uncomfortable. It makes my skin crawl.
Gotta go. Gotta bless.
I'm such a nice guy that I'm always trying to make sure everybody's blessed. That's why I'm checking in on people. I'm trying to make sure are you good? All right, you're good. Like this. All right, so everybody's good. So the vibe's gonna be good. Like if something throws off the vibe, for me, I'm extremely uncomfortable. I have a great way of hiding it, but like that's why it's like I'd rather not even like especially if I have love for you, Like if I dated you, if we were friends, I had that problem
married.
too.
Nice.
I have never been married. But
Obviously, if you were married, yeah.
so for me,
Hypothetical.
it became a serious problem.
Yeah.
Knowing that I compromise, knowing that I'm so inclusive and I'm a nice guy, people sometimes take advantage of you. You learn more about yourself as you're growing. But I developed that toxic trait as well, where instead of having conversations or being confrontational about how I feel about certain things, I'm like, yo, you know what? This is gonna rub me the wrong way. It's ruining my vibe right now. Let me just snip, go heal, figure it out.
It's a lot easier.
So avoidant.
Yeah, and I was using it as a coping mechanism, just like, yo, let me just, this is easier. Like it makes me feel like I did something. We're really like, I'm compartmentalizing how I really felt, and I may be carrying it. Maybe it's
It
me.
almost feels like we have power over that situation.
Yeah,
now, right?
Now you cut it. You're like,
I dealt with it.
I got it back now.
Yeah.
Like
But
now
there's
you're
no
calling
power.
me, but it's no more time. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I have a question, AB,
Love the
just to
honesty.
jump on that. Like, how are you going to be more mindful of that if you were to get married? Because in a marriage, you can't snipe, you can't cut, you can't cut. You're stuck with that person.
Because I feel like I have
so
to
you
work
feel like
on-
you have to express that
I
you
to
had
work
that
it.
issue.
I had to work on it not only with my friends, with
Yeah.
everybody who I had to make a list. It's crazy
Wow.
of people that because I'm such a nice guy. I'm like, yo, maybe I'm overextending my love for people. Maybe I'm not the problem. Maybe I'm not too nice. Let me just. I made a list, and I wrote down people that obviously family aside, like my who I love, who I'm gonna give myself to, like unequivocally. I'm not gonna. I don't feel like I have to. And it's crazy that I actually have to write their names down. I'm like, you know what? Outside of this,
I love that.
I'm probably not gonna overextend myself anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe then I won't be disappointed. So I had to learn that, and then obviously I feel like all my relationships got more healthy. It's like now you meet this person, and now I'm not carrying that. So now you're gonna something.
You can't be there for everyone, or you're gonna be there for nobody.
Yeah. Who's gonna be there for me?
Yeah, I think in relationships, I think it's so important to communicate your flaws. Give somebody a heads up. Be like, listen, this is my problem.
Yeah.
This is my problem area. This is the part I'm working on, because it also puts things to perspective for the person to understand you. Because I think at first when things go south, I think people try to understand, why did he react that way? Why did she react that way? But if they don't have any basis to understand why, they're going to assume. And shaitan loves to dance at assumptions. They will, as soon as you raise your voice, she's sticking or he's sticking, he's an abuser. It's a wrap. I married an abuser. But if you had explained to her, okay, when I get upset, I go to level 10 and I need to not get there. So then she'll probably ask her, he'll ask her, okay, what could we do to avoid that? You know what I'm saying? So it's important to communicate your flaws. But I feel like when you're talking to somebody, get to know somebody, you're only meeting the representative.
Yeah.
The good representative. Like, you're perfect. I have no problems. I don't have anger issues. I don't have this. I don't have that. And that's completely problematic, because when you're stuck in a condo in the 6 that's 7 by 11, we're all gonna see everything, right?
Like, love really and truly, like healthy love in any aspect, that costs. It has a cost, and it's different for everyone. I see. For some people it's like, I have to compromise on this. For some people it's like, I have to be extremely vulnerable and actually say a flaw about myself. For others it's like, I gotta be more present and think outside of myself. There's no such thing as you just walk into something and then love is just given to you on a platter.
100%. And me,
like,
I feel like I also agree on that too. But for me, it's like communication. And people, we say it, but I don't think we understand how serious it is. And like, I learned it for myself. Like, instead of sometimes just cutting things off, why don't you just find out what the issue was? And maybe if it was me, and maybe if it was something I did like a while ago that maybe wear down the situation or maybe brought this reaction out of you, then I know. But if it wasn't me, then maybe I also get the closure, like I wasn't the problem.
Facts.
We get to the bottom of it, because once you're vulnerable like that, it opens doors for more answers.
So that's your cost. Love.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw this out there, right? You're the moderator, right? So
Go ahead.
But I want to ask everyone, instead of saying a flaw, let's ask each other, what's your cost of love? Because for him, it's communication.
I don't even understand the question.
So like, what is the price that you have to pay for effective love? Like, what is the thing that hurts to do,
but you're doing it?
You have to do it.
And it's personal to you, right? So everyone's cost is different.
I love how you guys all centered towards me for this. Like,
I already answered.
We're both intensely looking at nice.
Yeah, I love this. No, okay. So for me, what's something that my cost?
Yeah.
I guess understanding that, relationships in and of itself, it's a partnership and like, a very deep level, right? Especially when you're getting married, right? So understanding that this person, you're in this thing together, and understand, and it's big on my individuality, right? Like, alhamdulillah, I feel very aware of myself as an individual, and I feel like I'm very understanding, and I know what my flaws are. I know what I'm good at, what I'm bad at. I know, like, I'm very self-aware in that sense, but I'm also territorial in that, where I'm like, yo, you're not gonna encroach on who Nice is. Nice is in this circle, and you're gonna take the circle whether you like it or not. That's me, right? So then I guess my cost would be just having to open that up and be like, you know what, I have to be willing to let someone into that space and let them see, the individual, even, the dark, shady parts of the individual that you don't necessarily get to see. Like you said, right now you're seeing representative Nice. You're not seeing Nice who's at home scratching his stomach watching a show on Netflix. You're not seeing that. You know what I mean?
Nope.
And like, I don't really want somebody to see that, but I mean, somebody's going to have to, especially if I wanted to go where I want to go.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's a good cost.
So clarify the question. It's what would I have to give up?
Yeah.
Like, what do you
like
consider?
not give up?
What do you consider like something that you have to like? It's
the
like
hardship
work on.
In order for a relationship to
it's
work,
like a relationship toll. What do you have to pay?
that might be
It
hard
could be
for you.
a
though.
small compromise.
I
It doesn't have to
think
be
for me it
huge.
would be like the autocratic personality that I have. I think I can be a little bit bossy at some points. Because I'm gonna be honest,
I love
guys.
the vulnerability.
I'm gonna be honest. I can be a bit bossy sometimes, so it's my way or
Oh, the highway.
Or
Oh
the
no.
right. So that's something I am working on
Yeah.
because
Ladies don't like that.
I mean, some
No,
women,
they
women don't mind people taking the drive.
the
But
driver's
bossy
seat.
is a negative. Is a negative attribution, right? I wouldn't say like if you feel like you're assertive is different than bossy, right? But bossy has no room for compromise.
No,
Yeah, that's
no,
why,
okay,
You
right?
don't come off bossy at all. I
Okay,
think
no.
you're more assertive.
Okay, no,
He's
I
not
was-
talking to us.
He's not talking.
No, just in general.
No,
but
no,
the
okay.
definition,
Then maybe not bossy, but like maybe like a level or
Yeah, I think
Couple
we're all
levels
we have
yeah.
flaws,
I see what
right?
you
We're
mean.
all trying to work on, but I know I like that though for the honest, because I don't think people are comfortable being honest with their flaws.
yeah.
You know,
And that's what I'm loving right now.
Yeah,
Wallahi. Real talk.
We're afraid to be seen as less than perfect in a way,
Yeah.
which is crazy because you see how many people be on the socials being like, they be posting these things where they're like, oh, there's no such thing as a perfect human being and you're flawed and shit, you know what I mean? And you're like, okay, you see these beaten into your skull every day, that you still try to pretend that you're this perfect human being.
Because showing those flaws, quote unquote, is part of this aesthetic now, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not actually showing your flaws.
It's just you. It's
Fake
just you. It's
vulnerability
just you
sometimes,
saying
you know?
that you have flaws,
yeah.
and then people, like.
Yeah, this
post
is why I
on
love
Instagram.
social media,
Yeah.
man. It's
Social
just-
media is
yeah.
smokes and mirrors, but
Ruby Core is killing my people.
Yeah.
What's your cost? Adil?
So my cost, honestly, if I had to cost something, it would be, I don't know. I think being uncomfortable, just with just
You're
being
the people we've been talking about all
you
day.
know, yeah, basically being being uncomfortable and knowing that as a woman, I'm married to a man that has a certain level in my relationship with him that I have to kind of maintain Islamically. I'm not gonna lie, like the whole idea of like there are certain things I have to like. As a woman, I have to accept that like he's my husband and I have to let him be one, and I can't do everything. My mom always tells me, fake it. Pretend like the doorknob is broken. But like, I don't know how to fix it. And in my head, I'm like, but I could, okay. I could go to Canadian Tire. I could do all those things. And recognizing that I don't have to be the husband, the wife, everybody at once.
Yeah.
That I can allow him to do his thing. I could do my thing. And I think that's natural. I feel like I want to feel more feminine in a relationship. Instead of feeling like I'm both masculine and feminine, I'm like doing both.
Yeah, that just goes back to like the entire
Morals.
respect.
Yeah,
thing of,
I
like,
think because I respect my father, right? But something about a guy that you like and you don't, it's scary.
Yeah,
You're leaving this person, your life in their hands, and you're afraid they're going to misplace it, and that's a huge fear for a lot of women. I'll be honest with you.
That's
like,
a fair fear, though.
Bro,
They have to put their trust in
we
a
have to.
man.
We're literally putting our whole lives,
A lot of men are incompetent,
and they're
these days.
subhanallah, and they just do the. That's just, and women are already vulnerable. Period. Like as women, we're already vulnerable, and then on top of that, we're married to men who are going to make us even more vulnerable. It's just, to me, it scares the crap out of me. But you know what? It's part of life. But moving on, because we have to go quickly to the other ones, because I want to get each card at least for one section. We did family. We did.
I'm taking this card game home.
We did finances. We did icebreakers. We did intimacy, and now we're gonna do family. So family, I'm gonna give you a hot take on this one. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Would you ever consider being in a polygamous relationship? I want to hear it.
I'll pass.
Yo, if you see how vigorously me and AB are shaking our heads,
No.
no, yeah.
No, but guess what? It's a family thing. By
I
the
haven't
way.
locked in
How
one.
is that in the family section?
It is in the family section because polygamy is about family. Actually,
Oh
it's
my
about
God.
more about family.
You know
It has
what
to do
it
with
is?
individual.
Can we start off with you? What do you
Because I want
thoughts on this?
Polygamy, first of all, okay, I'll set the tone on this one because I know it's a very scary topic.
What are your thoughts
So
on your
Islamically,
husband?
polygamy is permissible.
Yes.
It is absolutely the husband's right to practice polygamy,
Yeah.
but I also believe that women should always be given a heads up.
Yeah.
Because polygamy, you're not just practicing it. I'm practicing it with you.
Yeah, facts.
Right? If you want to practice it, you know I'm not practicing it. It's not you, it's me too. Right? Nice. Be serious for 2 minutes.
Let's rephrase that.
I'm honestly, and when I say I'm practicing with you, because obviously you cut the time in half.
Yeah.
He's going between wives, which means I have less of his time. You know what I mean? I'm sacrificing as well.
Yeah.
Right? And there are women who are interested, believe it or not. I have friends right now who are interested in polygamy.
MashaAllah.
Okay, I'm being serious.
No shame to
Well,
them.
and
More power
there's
to you,
nothing that,
sister.
and because they're practicing sunnah, may Allah make them successful. You know? And there are people who are not interested. Okay? And that's their business, right? But if we're talking about Sharia right, it is completely permissible. It is, we cannot make what Allah made halal haram, right? But
One thing I know for sure is I don't know enough about the deen, right?
Yeah.
But just speaking on the numbers,
Yeah.
right? And just speak on the numbers. 90,000. We're talking about Toronto, right? For 2 people, comfortably, double that.
That's insane.
Double that.
That's
And now you're in a position where you're that guy, right? You think you can handle both of them, or maybe 3 or 4. You better get your money up, and then tell me when you'll have the time to meet up with them. Tell me when you have the time to cater for their emotional needs now.
Because obviously
you know?
they're not all gonna live in the same yard.
Bro,
It's
even
like-
if they did, fam, literally, your obligation is not just financially. You have to be able to care for them emotionally.
And
You have to
give them
be
all
there
even
for them.
time.
You better
All the
open.
children.
You better fix all 4 doorknobs.
Remember,
Yeah.
back
You know what I'm
home
saying?
still an
oh,
option,
what
guys.
if one wife wants a private school for her kids? All three have to get it.
I don't know a single man right now. And may Allah make somebody that I know that well off, you know? But
whoever's sick with it like that, if your pockets are lined, mashallah, if you're up like
if your
that,
heart is open for all
me,
of
it's-
them,
Then
like
do
I
it.
don't know anyone that can.
Obviously,
Should a man desire for wives?
I don't
though?
desire that. Yo, I'm scared of that.
if
The
you
way
desire
I'm
4
blessed.
wives,
The
I
jokes my
honestly
mom
think there's
makes
something
about it.
functionally wrong with you.
forget
Yeah,
about it.
you
If
think
you
so?
if you desire
Forget
4
about it.
women, I think there's something functionally wrong with you. No,
I wouldn't say
No,
so.
I don't know. I
Wait,
would
wait,
say,
wait, wait, wait.
I would say to reach the epitome of masculinity, you should desire for wives.
Is there an epitome of
First of all, to
masculinity?
reach the epitome of masculinity, yo, this guy's
Yeah.
hard. Kill me.
Come on now,
That's
like
hard.
I
That's
just
just-
imagine like
what
on
screams-
mountain.
This
And this
guy
guy
said,
standing on
this
top.
guy said the epitome.
the alpha
bro.
males on top of the mountain. Like
Oh,
what?
man,
What?
yo. Yo,
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, slow down. Slow your roll. I heard that in my ear. It's too close.
yeah, I gotta go.
no. This guy just said, "Oh, just put hair on your chest like a bear."
Okay, wait. The reality is that it is absolutely permissible, and for those who want to, can afford to, has the right to. But again, Yom al-Qiyamah, the account is long. Do you get me? The account, the hisab, is
Yeah.
long, right?
Here's my thing.
And again, go ahead, AB.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like obviously finance is one thing, but like
Yeah.
do you feel like under these circumstances in the society that we live in right now that you can give yourself to more than one woman? Like can you
You're saying even if I had the finances to do it,
Yeah.
emotionally, I don't think I could do it.
Why not though?
I'm not gonna lie to you, fam.
I feel like
we just
conflicted
talked
youth.
about the conflicts of
One
emotionally
relationship. Yeah.
paying the toll for one
I'm in-
relationship.
I'm in
No,
a
but
emotionally
you're
conflicted youth.
financially stable to pay for 4
No,
wives.
but we're
I'm
talking about the
financially
emotional
good, right?
aspect,
But
you
I'm
know?
I'm not emotionally in the place where I could take care of 4 different women emotionally.
And I'm not
'Cause-
saying women are in any way,
Emotional-
shape, form a
emotional
problem
burden,
or,
yeah.
or
Yeah,
a burden or
difficult, yeah.
difficult or
I mean, they
anything like
might
that. Slow down, nice.
Okay.
Hey, listen,
Listen, nice. We
Men are
could
prob-
go 2 on
men
2
are,
on
no,
that.
men are problems.
Yeah.
Women are we're all problems.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I agree.
We all have our issues.
But I feel like I haven't mastered one relationship yet.
Talk to me.
So let me work on that.
And on that note is where we should leave, because the reality is, let's get to one.
Yeah.
Can we get to one? Can we get to one? Can we sustain one? Can we fulfill the rights of one? I know a scholar, subhanallah, who said he didn't even want to get married because he felt like he didn't even fulfill the rights of his mother.
Subhanallah.
A scholar, yeah, and he's known in and out. And he was afraid hasn't even fulfilled his mother's rights. And now he was afraid to get married, even though I'm sure everyone encouraged him. But he understands to the degree. But if you're open to polygamy, you should talk about it. That's the point. That's why the question was raised.
So basically, it should be able to be talked about.
Yeah, there are people who are in this dunya, and I know they're evil listening, who are open to polygamy. And they have absolute right to do it, you know? But what I'm not here for is this whole idea of lying and saying you're not, and then switching up on which again, like there isn't because it's his right, but I'm just saying, like, have the communication. It solves so many problems later
on,
and be honest about it. If you at least say, like, oh, I'm not interested in polygamy right now, is an honest answer. I might be in the future. That's an honest answer.
100%.
Wallahi, and I respect
100%.
that to the degree, because he's being honest, she's being honest, and that's how we should be. Bun the representative. Tell the truth. You want a person that marries you for you.
Yeah.
Not some fake mirage you're trying to perpetuate, especially with marriage, because it's all gonna come out.
Even let's just take it one step further back of like maintaining the rights upon just one other person. Have you even fulfilled those rights upon yourself?
Oh, period.
Are you at a place where you even like, yeah, fam, you owe yourself certain obligations. You know what I mean? Yo. You need to love yourself, fam. You need to show that time for yourself, you know? And it's just like, yo, I'm going to have to take it there. A lot of people do fetishize and want to have 4 wives, not because it's the sunnah. You know what I mean? They want to do it because patriarchy tells them I'm that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy. You know? And this has nothing at all to do with the sunnah, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. So going into the next section category of cards is social issues. And I love social issues because I thought it was important for this category to exist, because worldview is important. What we find issues with, what we represent, what we support matters in a relationship. For like, if a guy told me Black Lives Matter, like this whole, not even the organization, but just the idea that issues for people exist and say they don't, what I would have a problem with, right? Because I feel like he's ignoring my identity that I experience. But that's why I think it's important to talk about, because there are other people out there that have weird.
But Adil, you know what's about to happen right now?
Okay.
No, I'll let her ask the question.
But tell me, nice. I want to hear.
No, because I was gonna say, like, you know, as Somalis, we have a big problem with that in and of itself.
I know, but and that's true, and that's for everyone's opinion, right? I personally would not be interested in somebody telling me about my experience or what I think to be true. That's the issue for me, and that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody is free thinkers, but in a relationship, we're really intimate. I want to feel like we align.
Like, we don't have to have the same views, but
but certain core views. Like, and it depends on spiritual interracial relationships as well, right?
You're right.
Yeah. So my question to you, this is very spicy and super random, but it sets kind of the tone. Do you believe that marital rape exists?
Yes.
100,000%.
Wow. Unanimous. You know, there are men out there who believe it doesn't exist.
They're delusional.
I don't even know if I can say this on.
I didn't even think that was a spicy question, fam.
That hit me in the chest. I'm sorry.
It's real talk.
I'm sorry. That hit me in the chest. Like, I was not ready for that. Absolutely it is.
I had an experience where a brother told me it didn't exist, and that's why I added it.
And that's another example that, even going back to the polygamy, right? This not to compare the two, of course, but like, people really and truly love to use their own innate desires, their nafs, and then add it on top of that what they think a man should be, and then use the deen as like a tool to enforce it.
Which is a miseducation. They have no idea what
it is. Bro, like, I'm scared for that type of punishment, fam. You know, real talk, fam. Like, using something like that to enforce yourself onto others, may Allah protect us.
If that's your desire, you got to figure that out.
No, you have to reevaluate, because you're not on the right path. But Adam, my question is, like, this brother who said that to you, like, did you pick this guy's brain? Because there's clearly something wrong with him.
No, I honestly, I always ask why, just because I'm curious that you asked that.
No, you have to be curious.
And he said, because we're married, how I interact with you, he said there's a bound. There's an agreement when we marry. That's what he said to me. There's an agreement. And I said, what did she agree? And I asked her, what did she agree to? You know, to be tormented, to be traumatized.
I've heard stories where the guy will marry the girl, and on the first night, because of the amount of pornographic material that he consumes, throughout his life, he the girl goes in not knowing what to do, right? Rightfully so. And then the guy comes in acting like he's a macho man, and doing things that he shouldn't do. Yeah, he's doing things that he shouldn't do.
And that she's mad uncomfortable with.
And literally they come out and they say, I felt like I got raped.
SubhanAllah.
It's wild,
Because the guy is doing things, that the girl doesn't even know you could do.
It's the consenting, right? That's the part that she feels like she didn't consent to. And sometimes the power dynamics prevents women from vocalizing, right? And there's just so many other reasons, and that's why it's so important.
There's a lot of factors, but it all boils down to the simple fact, no means no, and it's not even like that confusing or
you'd be surprised to do.
Snipa. But I like the fact that you brought that up, because that's one of many factors I brought it up. I do workshops for young men, right? And this is not like I don't even want to say the word, but it doesn't always lead into that. But the behaviors of a young man walks into this world. He does not have these conversations with his family. At school, all your friends are giggling on sex ed. And the first thing that you learn about a relationship with a woman, how to interact with her on a romantic level, not even sexually, is through pornography. And then, the average span of like how long boys watch that is longer than you would imagine. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real,
Especially when you're in high school.
And then you walk into a situation where you think all of those fetishes and fantasies that you've relived for like 10 plus years, you can do it on your wife. And it's just like that. Like, bro, listen, like once you reach that point, that person's like done for. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really hard to unpack, not to say that you can't, but there has to be some type of preventative measures, you know?
And
we have to talk to young boys about this.
And I'm not gonna delve too into it, because it's
very sensitive.
It's a tough subject to breach, number one. And I'm not the most knowledgeable, so I'm not gonna pretend. My whole thing is, you'd be surprised how many, not just guys my age, younger brothers too, you'd be surprised how many of them lack the understanding of what consent means.
SubhanAllah, yeah, absolutely.
And like they don't, and like Snipa said, like obviously we're grown ass men, we know that no means no. They don't understand that consent can be revoked at any time.
Second.
You got, Allah alam, you could be in the midst of whatever you're doing. And if she says no, then it's time, you gotta go. Right? But men don't know that.
And it's interesting because in the bounds of marriage, I don't think we're having the conversation about consent, because we don't think it's a conversation that needs to be had, because ideally two people who love each other understand their boundaries. But the reality is that it's not the truth.
Why would you want to make it like for me? It's like obviously consent. It's a very big deal, but it's like just on a personal level. Why would you want to make someone that you're with uncomfortable and then continue? That's a bit like,
No, it reminds me of a convo I had where a man was like, I went, he's talking, he's not really my friend, just the guy that I know around the way, right? The man's like, if I waited my whole life for something and now I'm married, I should be able to get it whenever. I'm like, listen, bro.
She owes you that?
I'm like, I said, you waited your whole life, not for her, not for you. You waited because that's what God wants of you. That's what Allah commanded you to do. So don't act like you're all high and mighty.
People don't owe you that.
You're supposed to do that. And nobody owes you for you waiting for that. More power to you. Good job that you waited, because a lot of people are not staying firm out here.
Listen, a marriage contract is not a slave agreement. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nobody owes you nothing other than the common decency of I love you and I will be here for you.
I like that you got that in the game though.
We didn't even get to wait until we get to Islam, so we have to do this quickly, okay? Because I want to get through, because we didn't even do the Islam section, which is important too. And they're not just like about your difference of opinion, but rather I want to understand. For example, here's one question: here's the one. Why are you a Muslim? Why are you a Muslim?
Growing up when I was younger. That's a great question. I went to Duxie. I prayed with my father. I used to look forward to going to Jum'ah, but I didn't know really why I was doing what I was doing, right?
Like a lot of us.
Which is pretty normal. People don't want to voice it and say that this is how they feel and stuff like that. But it almost didn't rain on me why I'm Muslim until I got to I was 17 years old, right? I had already attended janazas and stuff like that, but it was like someone I knew died for me to realize, okay, this is why I'm Muslim, and the seriousness of when someone dies, like where do they go? And then it opens doors for the conversation of, okay, so what's my purpose here? what am I here to do? What is life? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So then you start to think about those things. But those times, I obviously associated, and I thank my father for taking me to the masjid for Jum'ah when I was younger, and I used to think about, like, it's almost like a holiday when you go to the mosque with your dad. You know, when you're really young, it's like you get to leave the house with him, you get to go do whatever he does.
Go grab
a snack after.
Being a Muslim. Give me $5.
You know, and
monetary compensation.
And then you go out and all your uncles give you food, give you money and stuff like that. So it's amazing, but you still don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not gonna lie, being Canadian on top of that, going to public school, it almost erases everything that you did on the weekends, right?
Yeah.
Literally.
And I do see it's like in the beginning, especially during our time, I'm 26 years old, so growing up younger, it was you're either learning how to read, or you're learning how to like obviously hifz of the Quran, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the aqidah wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So
it never was. It was just so you have to read and you have to memorize and you have to read back some stuff that you have no idea what it means. You just remember it.
Yeah.
So for me, it took me a really long time
because you know your why is so important. It dictates you how you practice your religion and how you practice
what
it
type of person
as an individual. And that's when things changed for me. When I knew why I was Muslim, I chose to be a Muslim. If I choose to be a Muslim, then there's things that I do, there's things that I abide by. There's the the conviction that I feel. And I think if you ask anybody that isn't like as close out, you ask them their why, and it's like I didn't really give much thought to it, or they haven't honed in the why, and the why is so important. Because
that's where I'm at, because I can't sit here and give you an answer. If someone were to say to me, "Nice, why are you Muslim?" I don't know why. Honestly, there's times where I don't know why.
For me personally, I don't think I can answer that question. Why am I a Muslim? All I can do is just say Alhamdulillah that I am a Muslim.
Yeah.
Like I can't
something
give you
Allah meant for you.
No, I can't give you some thought-provoking answer because I haven't had the thought yet.
Yeah, the question, right? For me, the why is simple. I believe in it.
Oh no,
I actually believe. Like when you learn your religion, there's a moment like I had where I felt like, oh my God, this is really the truth.
It's like an epiphany.
This is not a lie. This is actually facts. And when you know something to be facts, you live in that fact. You know what I'm saying? And so, I know it's such a simple question, but there's a lot to explore on why somebody chooses their religion, because a lot of people are maybe feel like they're performing Islam, but they're not practicing Islam, and the next one of the next questions in the Islam question is how would you explain Islam to a stranger?
Oh, okay, I have experience in this.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, how would you explain it?
Okay, so first and foremost, you need to know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Right. So I think I was so if you're speaking to for say someone from a city from a village in Africa who they believe in very humanistic religions, right? You can't talk about the contingency argument and you can't get all philosophical with them. Like, you need to know your audience, right? You're gonna attract him more by saying something like
you can't tell them the message came down from the sky.
Yeah. No, but like going back to the humanistic religions, if to tell that person, you need to tell them that, on the day of judgment, hellfire will come out and the Prophet ﷺ will say, no, go back. You need to tell them that kind of stuff because they believe in those kind of things. But, if I'm speaking to someone like Einstein or, Richard Feynman, I'm going to have to talk about
sciences.
Yeah, you need to talk about intellectual things. They're not going to care about what the Prophet ﷺ is going to do on the last day and stuff like that, right?
So you're going to curate the conversation based on who you're talking to.
Exactly. And I think that's the most important thing, because a lot of times we always just try to sound all intellectual and all smart, giving him, this, logical proof and that. But for the most part, there's something Abdul Hakim Murad, founder of the Islamic Cambridge College, he says, you can show a man 1,000 miracles, but if you don't show him mercy, he will never believe. So I think that's the most important thing, being kind, merciful, and passionate to one another. That's really what brings people into Islam, not the debates you can win or all that other stuff.
There's this guys, forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm always paraphrasing, all right? But from a story I remember, when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was like going over to Abyssinia seeking refuge for the first time, the letter is apparently still preserved, and the letter that he sent out said something along the lines of, and please fact check me if I'm wrong, But he started off the conversation with, greetings. I heard you're a kind and just king, obviously like solidifying the fact that, he acknowledges who that person is regardless of religion. And then said, I heard you believe in the miracle of Jesus, right? Yeah. Who was born without a mother, without a father. And I also believe in that miracle, but I also believe in the miracle of Adam alayhi salam, who's born without a mother and a father. And who are we to debate that it's not the same Lord, right? And I would love to conversate with you more about it. At no point in that conversation, from what I've seen, did he tell them how stupid their religion was? You know what I mean? Did he tell them how wrong? So that's like the kind of approach I would always do. And bringing me back to the original question of like, why am I Muslim? Yeah. Like, alhamdulillah, I was born into it. Yeah. Alhamdulillah, Allah meant it for me, but it's the akhlaq that kept me. Period. The way that I see the way Muslims really, like real, genuine Muslims striving for the Sunnah and the Quran, treat each other, It's like, when I see somebody that's just arguing constantly and yo, if you know me by now, I'm just gonna walk away, you know what I mean? But when I see, like, when I go to certain masajid, fam, I've been to Thailand, Japan, like Dominican, random places, and I'm in their mosques, like that's part of the tourism for me, and they always treat me the same, no matter where I've been. And that's our ummah, fam, and that's what keeps me there, wallahi.
Well said. Yeah, do you have any thoughts? Anybody add?
I was just going to say,
nice. Go ahead.
My only point is, a lot of people use the deen as a crutch.
Yeah.
And it's not. The deen is supposed to uplift what you have and strengthen what you have.
Yeah.
It's not a crutch. It's sort of like a whole body cast.
Naam.
May Allah make us among the best of Muslims.
Ameen.
That's just my 2 cents, though.
I love this platform, fam.
Yeah. No, thank you guys. Honestly, I'm really humbled you guys came. Some of you guys came from far. And some of you came like rushing and running through traffic. I really appreciate it. I also do want to say the last final question in the card game, there's like 10 final questions and then a final card. And the final card is, did I pass the vibe check? And the question I want to ask you guys, because you're not obviously talking to a potential person, you're talking to each other. Well, we're all talking to each other. Do you think, because I know we don't all know each other in the room, did I pass the vibe check? Did we all pass the vibe check? Did anybody feel? Do you feel like you learned something?
You guys are gang.
First of all,
like, is it good vibes?
I think nice.
Yeah.
He showed me a side of him that I've never seen before.
Today. The nice side of him.
And no, he's always a nice guy. That's just.
And you work with nice, and you know nice personally.
I have never.
Yeah.
Since I've known this guy, seen him open up the way he did today.
Oh, nice.
And I'm really proud of him, to be honest.
I am.
So a lot of times I'm probably quiet today, but I'm more in awe as to how, I'm so proud of him too.
I'm actually in awe of you guys, because I find that there's also this really negative perception that like men don't really open up, and that like it's really, really hard to feel personally connected. But seeing you guys play the card game like it's intended to play, you had all thoughtful responses and like follow-ups, and I see you guys thinking. Like when you guys are asking questions, you guys are thinking. You're genuinely trying to give good answers, and I feel like the card game did its job. So jazakallah khair, barakallah feek. Thank you guys so much for being my first male guest on the Digital Sisterhood podcast. You guys are solid people, and shout out to Chanel for recording a video.
Thank you.
Thank you to Jonathan for being our sound engineer and being so awesome all the time.
Yes,
and shout out,
appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Muna Sheikh Umar for producing this episode.
Thank you, Mana.
I love you, sis.
And lastly, shout out to Adar for letting us come on.
Shout out to Adar, man. Shout out to Adar for inviting the man.
Don't make me blush. You can't even see it, so it's all good.
Nah, thank you for letting us tap into the digital brotherhood.
In all seriousness, y'all, like.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
The digital family.
I would have said the digital hood, but we're not trying to gentrify the podcast. So that's not.
Seriously though, like other.
Sorry. The digital family includes all of us. Includes all of us.
Jazakallah khair for having us. Genuinely, like I'm seeing the effect that your podcast has in conversations I see other people have all the time. And just seeing the progress that you guys have made from before, the sky's the limit. So may Allah reward you all for the work you do.
Thank you for guys for being gentlemen. I really appreciate it. So you guys make me feel very comfortable. All right, thank you, listeners, for listening. This is a very special episode. It's not a storytelling. We're playing a card game with brothers. So for sisters who are interested in getting to know somebody for marriage, this game is absolutely possible. Look at these guys. They shared, and they shared a lot. And it's possible to do that with someone you're getting to know. So if you're interested in buying the card game, check us out on our website. We'll have all the info on our Instagram. And yeah, I will read you what the back of the box says so you understand in its totality. With Vibe Check, you get to ask and answer thought-provoking questions to connect and vibe with each other. Each player takes turns picking cards to ask a question while the other player answers. Because there is a variety of different questions to choose from, the responses are endless. The goal? To make the communication and search for marriage easier. So good luck, everybody, okay? And do it the halal way, not the haram way, okay? Whatever Allah has blessed always succeeds. You can find the game on our Instagram page, link in bio at www.thekickstarter.com/vibecheck. Go on there, buy your game. It'll come to you, inshallah. We're super excited. And yeah, it's on our Instagram. It's everywhere. If you find us, if you email us, we'll send you the link to our pre-sale. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. I hope you found this episode hilarious like I did. Wow, is all I can say. Mashallah, tabarakallah, jazakallah khair to the brothers that came. All right, this episode is brought to you by Beautiful Light Studios. Shout out to Muna for producing this episode. It was fun, sis. Jazakallah khair. You can find us, well, you'll hear from us again next week in your ear, in your speaker, telling you a good story. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace.